Welcome to Headphone News, Montreal edition for Saturday, December 7, 2024.
Budget shortfall impacts Canadian immigration courts. Canadian federal courts are facing serious financial challenges, with a budget shortfall of 35 million Canadian dollars, which is about 25.8 million United States dollars. This gap is causing delays and a backlog of immigration cases in major cities like Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. The federal court expects nearly a 50% increase in immigration filings this year. Federal Justice Minister Arif Virani plans to meet with chief justices to address these urgent issues. Delays in processing immigration cases could create uncertainty for applicants and make it harder for them to access legal support. This situation underscores the need for adequate funding for the judicial system to ensure timely resolution of cases.
Montreal's struggle with homelessness. Montreal, Canada, is experiencing a troubling rise in homelessness, which is putting a strain on local shelters. The Cap Street Barnabé shelter had to turn away hundreds of people in November due to full capacity. To address this issue, the shelter now provides 30 chairs for overnight stays from evening until morning. Ariane, a homeless woman, shared her uncomfortable experiences while searching for shelter. The increase in homelessness is linked to financial challenges, a lack of low-cost housing, and inadequate mental health care. Local shelters depend on personal donations and government support to keep running. As more people become aware of homelessness, it can motivate community efforts and lead to important changes in policies, emphasizing the urgent need for more resources and support for vulnerable groups.
Rising demand for food banks in Quebec. Food banks in Quebec, Canada, are facing a significant increase in need as hunger continues to rise. Reports indicate an additional 1 million requests for food assistance each month over the past 3 years. Many individuals, like Tony Afriya, depend on food banks for help, often taking home groceries worth about $50. Tasha Lackman, the director of the Depot Community Food Center, mentions that government support has not kept pace with this growing demand. Nearly 3/4 of food banks report running low on supplies, with more than half needing to purchase food to meet the need. Public health researcher Louise Potvin highlights that rising living costs and inflation are worsening the situation, impacting even those who are employed. This crisis emphasizes the urgent need for increased local support and government action to effectively address hunger. Understanding these challenges underscores the importance of local food banks and the necessity for us all to work together to ensure everyone has access to the food they need.
35th anniversary of the Polytechnique Massacre. On December 6, 2024, Montreal will honor the 35th anniversary of the heartbreaking Polytechnique Massacre, where 14 young women lost their lives in an attack against women's rights. Vigils and memorials will be held across Canada to remember the victims and raise awareness about violence against women. At 5:10 p.m., the moment the shooting began, 14 beams of light will shine in the sky above Mount Royal, symbolizing the lives lost. This event is part of the National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women, which aims to spark conversations about gender-based violence. Since that tragic day, Canada has seen a rise in support for women's rights and stronger gun control laws. This ongoing remembrance serves as a vital reminder of the need to address violence against women and support mental health programs. The Polytechnique Massacre remains a significant moment in Canadian history, shaping policies and societal attitudes toward gender-based violence.
Quebec daycare workers strike for better conditions. On December 6, 2024, about 3,000 daycare workers in early childhood centers, known as CPEs, in Quebec, Canada, went on strike, delaying the opening of daycare facilities until noon. This was the fourth consecutive Friday of walkouts since mid-November. The workers, represented by the Federation of Early Childhood Educators, or FIPEQ, are fighting for better pay and working conditions. A recent vote showed that 86% of FIPEQ members supported a new 6-day strike mandate. Currently, qualified educators earn around 22 to 30 Canadian dollars per hour, while unqualified educators make about 19 Canadian dollars per hour. The FIPEQ claims the government has only offered a modest 12.7% salary increase over 5 years, compared to a 17.4% increase given to other public sector workers. The collective agreement for these workers expired on March 31, 2023. This ongoing strike highlights significant challenges in Quebec's childcare sector, including staffing shortages and the urgent need for better compensation. Parents and children may experience interruptions in daycare services, prompting the government to rethink its approach to labor negotiations. The situation remains fluid as discussions continue.
Montreal arson attacks under investigation. Montreal police are investigating 2 arson attacks that took place overnight. The first incident occurred at a business on Sunnybrook Boulevard in Dollard-des-Ormeaux around 1:31 a.m., causing significant damage. Shortly after, at 2 a.m., firefighters responded to a fire at a home on Alfred Street in Montreal North and were able to control the flames. Investigators discovered signs of flammable materials, suggesting the fires were set intentionally. No arrests have been made, and both investigations are still ongoing. Residents are understandably worried about the risks that arson poses to community safety. Authorities may implement new security measures to prevent future incidents, and it's important for the community to stay alert and report any suspicious activity.
Canada's rising unemployment rate. Canada's unemployment rate has climbed to 6.8% in November 2023, the highest level since January 2017, not counting the COVID-19 pandemic. Although the economy added 51,000 jobs this month, it wasn't enough to stop the increase in unemployment, which was 6.5% in October. More people are looking for work, as shown by a 0.3 percentage point rise in the labor force participation rate. Average hourly pay went up by 4.1% compared to last year, but this indicates a slowdown in wage growth. High interest rates have greatly affected job availability, leading to longer periods of unemployment for many Canadians. The Bank of Canada is expected to consider these job market conditions in its upcoming interest rate announcement. A high unemployment rate can result in less spending by people and slower economic growth, impacting both individuals and businesses across the country.
Montreal retirement home cancels Christmas dinner. A retirement home in Montreal, called the Centre d'Hébergement La Chine, has decided to cancel its traditional Christmas turkey dinner this year. This announcement, made on November 19, 2024, has left residents and their families upset, as the turkey dinner has been a beloved holiday tradition. Instead of the usual meal, the facility will now offer smaller food options like sweet treats and snacks. Mathieu Jette, the Food Services Assistant Director at the Montreal West Island Integrated University Health and Social Services Centre, confirmed this change but did not specify if it was due to budget cuts. Supporters, including Paul Brunette, have expressed their disappointment and raised concerns about the quality of care for seniors. This situation reflects larger issues within Quebec's healthcare system, where budget constraints often lead to reduced services for at-risk populations. The cancellation of traditional meals can negatively impact the spirit of residents and their families, highlighting the urgent need for better funding and support in senior care.
Quebec government strengthens secularism in schools. The Quebec government is set to introduce a new law to strengthen secularism in public schools. This decision comes after reports of Muslim customs taking place in classrooms, which Premier Legault argues go against the principles of secularism. Education Minister Drainville has launched an inquiry into 17 schools suspected of violating this law. The aim is to create a neutral educational environment for all students. Quebec, known for its French-speaking population, has a history of debates over secularism and cultural integration. The proposed law could lead to stricter rules on religious expression in schools, impacting students' rights and teachers' responsibilities. The public's reaction has been mixed, highlighting the ongoing tension between secularism and multiculturalism in Quebec.
Safety alert for Inuit travelers in Montreal. Alivic, a lodging center for Inuit in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, has announced a safety alert about unmarked vehicles trying to pick up clients at Trudeau Airport. Reports indicate that questionable drivers, including a white van and a taxi, have attempted to attract Inuit travelers into their vehicles. Rita Novalinga, the head of Alivic, emphasized the importance of safety for Inuit individuals who may not be familiar with city life. Alivic offers a shuttle service and works with a reliable taxi company, Taxi Hits, to ensure safe transportation for its clients. This alert highlights ongoing safety concerns for at-risk groups in larger cities. Increased awareness and protective actions are essential for community safety and support. The situation underscores the need for travelers to stay alert and avoid potential scams.
Trends in cannabis consumption in Canada, 2024 survey results. A recent survey from Health Canada reveals changing trends in cannabis use among Canadians. The 2024 Canadian Cannabis Survey, which included over 11,600 participants, shows that about 1 in 4 Canadians aged 16 and older used cannabis for non-medical purposes in the past year, which is a small increase from 2022. While smoking remains the most common way to consume cannabis, its popularity has dropped from 89% 6 years ago to 69% in 2024. On the other hand, the use of cannabis-infused foods and drinks has risen to 57%. Vaping has also seen a slight increase, going from 33% in 2018 to 37% in 2024. The survey points out a significant decrease in impaired driving, with only 18% of users admitting to this behavior in the past year. Among different age groups, 48% of users aged 20 to 24 consumed cannabis, while 41% of teenagers aged 16 to 19 reported using it. The illegal market for cannabis has shrunk, with only 3% purchasing through non-legal means, down from 28% in 2018. These trends reflect the ongoing impact of cannabis legalization in Canada, which has important implications for public health, safety, and the economy. Understanding these shifts can help shape future policies and industry developments.
Hockey Charity Initiative in Dollard-des-Ormeaux. A new charity initiative in Dollard-des-Ormeaux, Quebec, Canada, is focused on giving young girls the chance to play hockey. Students from Sunshine Academy will have weekly skating sessions until April 2025, all thanks to the support from Hockey for Youth and the Montreal Canadiens Children's Foundation. This program provides free hockey gear and ice time for newcomer teens and youth who face challenges. The Montreal Canadiens, a well-known professional ice hockey team, are actively involved in community engagement, highlighting how important youth sports are. These initiatives encourage teamwork, discipline, and physical health among participants. Community support and sponsorships are essential for funding these programs, helping to tackle the obstacles that disadvantaged young people encounter. This initiative also emphasizes the importance of inclusivity in sports, creating a sense of belonging and empowerment for everyone involved. That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's Headphone News. News summary brought to you by AI.